Hi, this is Patrick from TOEFLBANK. Today we're going to talk about a new kind of TOEFL test, the TOEFL's Essential Test. Let's start off with a few questions. So, what is the TOEFL's Essential Test? The TOEFL's Essential Test is an English proficiency test made by ETS, the same company that makes the famous TOEFL test. According to ETS, the TOEFL Essentials is made for people who are looking for an affordable, convenient, reliable test alternative to the TOEFL. So the TOEFL Essentials is shorter, cheaper, and more adaptive than the TOEFL IBT test. But it's not a replacement, it's another option. The TOEFL Essentials test is much shorter than the TOEFL IBT test. The TOEFL IBT test takes around 3 hours, but the TOEFL Essentials test takes only between 1 and 1.5 hours. It will cost between $100 and $120 US, depending on which country it is taken in. So the TOEFL Essentials costs about half the price of the full TOEFL IBT. Another big difference is that the TOEFL Essentials is an adaptive test. This means it changes the questions it gives you based on how well you are doing. Do well, you get harder questions. Do poorly, you get easier questions. On the full IBT TOEFL, the questions do not change based on your performance. So, what kinds of topics are going to be on the TOEFL Essentials? The test consists of both academic and general English content, and both types of content will be covered equally, 50-50. This is a big change from the TOEFL IBT, which is 100% academic topics and settings. The new test will cover test situations from around the world and include mild English accents, so the audio you hear will be like the TOEFL IBT. What does the test structure look like? The TOEFL Essentials, like I mentioned, will take an hour to an hour and a half to complete. Just like the TOEFL IBT, there are 4 sections: reading, listening, speaking, writing. The details from ETS are not specific yet, but one major change is that the speaking section will have a new personal video statement. The personal video statement task comes at the end of the speaking section. It will ask 2 questions, and you can choose one of the questions to answer yourself. So this is totally new. It will take about 5 minutes. This statement will not affect your score, but the institutions that you apply to may use it as part of their review of your ability. This is a new feature for any ETS test, so check with your individual institutions for how they use the personal video statement. Will the questions be different? Yes. The tasks on the Essential TOEFL will be shorter and faster. We don't have specific details yet, but we will be sending out a detailed breakdown as soon as ETS releases more information about the question types. Do we get a break during the test? Nope. Because it's only 90 minutes at most, ETS has not included any breaks during the test. Are there any other differences from the TOEFL IBT? Yes. In the TOEFL Essentials, you will get a score for what ETS calls foundational skills. Foundational skills consist of vocabulary knowledge and sentence construction, and your performance on foundational skills will be shown separately on your score report. We will give you more details about that when ETS releases them. Where will we be able to take the TOEFL Essentials? The TOEFL Essentials test can only be taken online. The TOEFL Essentials test taking requirements are the same as the TOEFL IBT Home Edition. You will need a computer, a quiet room, a stable internet connection, a web camera, a microphone. The ETS website will give you the full list when you register. But no, you cannot take the TOEFL Essentials on your phone. When will the TOEFL Essentials launch? ETS will release more information about the TOEFL Essentials in May and April, and the first Essentials tests will begin in August of 2021. Now, let's get into everything you'll need to know about the TOEFL Essentials scores, the all-important scores. After finishing the test, you will immediately get your listening and reading scores because those are computer scored. Your final score, including your speaking and writing scores, will be available after 6 days. Those take longer because they are human and AI scored. So who accepts the TOEFL Essentials? ETS will publish a list of who accepts the TOEFL Essentials in the future. But for now, it's better to check directly with the institutions that you are applying to. What English proficiency scale does the TOEFL Essentials use? What does the score level look like? Will my score still be out of 120 like on the full TOEFL test? ETS says the TOEFL Essentials will use a new scoring scale that will go from 1 being the worst, to 12 being the best. Your total score will be an average of all 4 sections: listening, speaking, reading, writing. The new scale will be comparable to the CEFR scale, the Common European Framework for Reference for Language. 4 levels: A1, very low, all the way up to C2, quite high. How will the TOEFL Essentials score relate to other English test scores? We don't know yet exactly. ETS will release an official score along with a concordance table to match other English tests in May of this year. How long will TOEFL Essentials scores be valid? The scores will be valid for 2 years. One big important change to the score reporting is you will be able to choose your best scores. You will be able to take the TOEFL Essentials several times, but only send out your highest scores instead of just sending the most recent scores. That's a nice improvement. How many institutions can I send my report to? You can send your report to an unlimited number of schools for free. So another nice feature. Now, what's the difference between the Duolingo English Test, the DET, and TOEFL Essentials? This is an interesting question because ETS specifically compares their TOEFL Essentials test to the Duolingo English Test, the DET. If you don't know about the Duolingo English Test, ETS has prepared this helpful table to help you compare the DET to the TOEFL's Essentials test. As you can see, the TOEFL's Essentials test is similar to the DET in terms of cost, convenience, and accessibility. ETS shows that their test is much more qualified, basically more reliable in terms of reporting proficiency skills and grading and test security as well. So it does have some similar features in cost and convenience and ease of use, but ETS is showing that their test is got a much better history of accuracy and reliability. That's all for the new TOEFL Essentials exam for now. Remember, ETS is releasing more information about the TOEFL Essentials in May and April, so check back with us regularly. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment or send us an email at marketing@databank.ai. I hope this information helps you. As always, good luck in your studies.